right, welcome back for another episode of Chasing Ghosts. This is the video series where I talk about those hard to find, those impossible to find comics, those things you got to do a lot of legwork, some research, and just get lucky to find, even when you're out there searching online. Like, these aren't things you're just going to find at any shop that you go to. Again, you got to get lucky to find some of these books because due to some lower print runs and just things that are just generally tough to find these days. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel as we are on our way to 3K. Make sure you come back for the live shows we have on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and plenty of recorded stuff from me hitting just about every day on the channel. So once again, hopefully you're enjoying the content. Comment, let me know what you like, what you don't like. I'm open to suggestions. And with that, I have a special episode of selections for you. Going to kind of bridge the gap between two topics and then one little extra thrown in at the end. But we are nearing 100 episodes of Chasing Ghosts. This is number 99. So next episode, I will have a special one for you. But with that, if you want to see what I got for you this week, all you got to do is hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. Okay, so as I said, I got two main kind of topics, themes, I guess, running through this episode, and you might be able to guess the first one just by looking at what I am wearing. As you might know or not know, I'm a big fan of G.I. Joe. So I do have some G.I. Joe books for you once again. I've been sitting on these for a while. There's plenty of options to go with, especially with IDW with these 1 in 10s, but here are a few that I thought were interesting. This is from the 2013 series of G.I. Joe. We are going to start in with this issue 6. I'm going to be skipping most of the issues in this run because by and large, it's a 15-issue run before they ended. But most of them have like these weird, almost like part of a comic like covers for their 1 in 10s. It's like you kind of put them together to tell like a story, but I'm not a big fan of when they do that on the cover, so I'm skipping all of those. Skipping all those and just giving you the ones from that volume that have just separate, interesting looking covers like this number 6 that has this kind of magazine, kind of vibe, kind of quality to it. So I like it. I like this one. This one is a Tim Seeley cover. Again, 1 in 10 from July 2013. Print run on this series was not that high. We're only talking about maybe 9,100 copies. So potentially we're looking at 910 for the incentive. It's a 1 in 10. Again, this is best estimate, best guess information that we have, pulling off Comicron from the time, and then you do the basic ratio math. Again, this is not to be said as gospel to say this is exactly how many are out there. We don't know exactly. It's just our best guess based on the information. Again, that's available to everybody. Like, I'm telling you where I get the info from. You can go pull it for yourself. I'm just trying to save you that extra step and presenting it here in a simple to digest kind of a bit of content. With that, if you want to know how many are in the census, you may be surprised. Not many people have subbed this book. Not many at all. In fact, just one. Only one. And it's a 9.6. So the retailer incentive for this issue 6 only has one, and it's a 9.6. So that first 9.8 could still be out there somewhere. Maybe you even have it in your collection already. That also said, if you have any of these books, please tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see the books that you guys got when I talk about these hard to find books. I love seeing that people actually have some of them and they have them in their collection, because then it's kind of reaffirming the search for the rest of us who are still kind of hunting and looking and searching. That said, these books don't move a lot. This one in particular hasn't had any sales within the last 3 months, at least on eBay. So no sales the last 3 months. And when I went to look to go buy one, I did find one, but it was a little pricey for my taste. $118. So basically $120 for a 1 in 10 is a bit too rich for my blood. So, I mean, if you want, I mean, it's there for you. We don't know the market right now with no sales recently, but there's your one opportunity. So you can make an offer, take a shot if you want it. But like I said, it's a little too steep for me. So I like it, but I'm going to keep hunting. I'm going to see if I get lucky. That said, we get back to some more of those kind of telling a story on the cover, like almost looks like interior art panels on a couple more issues until we get near the end. Why they did this, I don't know. Why they broke it out like that. Why they kind of went in and out of that theme for this volume, but that's what they did. But come issue 12, we got some Freddie Williams covers here. This version of Cobra Commander Baroness, I kind of like it. I like it. This is again Freddie E. Williams, the 2nd December 2013, end of the year here. Another 1 in 10 as we are wrapping up this run. Print run at the time was down all the way at about under 7,000. So we're looking at maybe 698 on the incentive here for this 1 in 10. I tried to get census data for these ones here too at the end, and you saw the other one had 1. This I couldn't find any subbed. Not for the retailer incentive, not for the 1 in 10s at least. So nothing. So none in the census. So again, you could have that first graded copy, or maybe I will. We'll see. Because granted, this shows one sale as of May 18th for $10.49, but this is not actually accurate because I actually just bought one of these yesterday when I was doing my research. I don't have it here because the timing of when I did the purchase, it doesn't show reflected as a completed sale, and it wasn't still listed as available, so I couldn't put it in there. But I did buy one, and I bought it for $10 because I liked it. But as you can see here, this one's not impossible to find. There were other options out there apart from the one that I bought. There's one that was $6, but it's got $15 shipping out of the UK. And then there's a $25 one and another $25 one. So again, a more than double ratio, mostly on these 1 in 10s for number 12. And like I said, it's a pretty cool cover. But I found one for $10 that they had some other books that I like too. So I was able to package them together and, save on that shipping. I kind of stretch that shipping cost across multiple books, as you know, I like to do. I'm a bargain shopper after all. That said, this was number 12. Number 13, we get another Cobra Commander here that I actually like as well. Kind of cool. He's standing there in a puddle of blood, looking down, reflection. Pretty cool. Another Freddie Williams, another 1 in 10. A little bit of a delay on the release here, as this one came out in February of 2014. So the last one was December. Had to jump, probably like a month and a half. So it wasn't like a full 2 months, but I had to wait a little bit on this. Print run on this was also about 6,700. So the incentive is maybe down to 674. As I mentioned before with the last one, none in the census. So, no graded copies of this particular book. So we're talking raw all day. And what do we have for that sold? We had one that sold at the end of May for all of 99 cents. 99 cents. One bid. I missed this. I wasn't looking at it at the time. I would have been all over this for 99 cents personally because, well, again, I like G.I. Joe. But there it is. Available copies on this one. When I was doing the deck, I found 2 options. $88 and $67. Apart from another $10 copy that I bought from the same seller that had issue 12. I told you I bought a couple. So I did get a couple of these that I'm actually covering here because that's what happens. I start doing research, I start getting interested, and I start buying stuff for myself. Again, I'm just buying it just for me. I'm not going to try to resell it or try to talk it up so I can try to sell it to you later. They're just G.I. Joe books for me that I like. And I think at the price that I paid at $10, I think that was a good price to pay ratio. But that's just me. Here are the other options I had to look at, which are much more than ratio at 90 and $70 and $90. So I think I got a good deal. But then again, that other person got a better deal getting it for 99 cents. So kudos to them. This was 13. And as I mentioned, I did get this last one too. This is issue 14. So, yeah, I'm telling you, me and I bought all 3 of these, and they were all $10. Another Freddie Williams, March 2014, another 1 in 10. This was pretty cool. It's got the Vipers on there. I do like these figures. I was a big fan of these figures as a kid, so this is actually what drew me in. Once I saw this one, I went to go buy it, and then I saw, oh, they have these other ones too. Let me buy those as well. I also got a Bumblebee, by the way. It's another 1 in 10. Because again, I like IDW 1 in 10s, so I bought a Bumblebee one as well. Maybe we'll talk about those some other day. 1 in 10s, 6,500 now. Again, this print run is dwindling down as the series is ending. So we're down to about 6,500 for the full estimated print run. So our 1 in 10 may be only about 650 copies. Definitely not a lot. And as I mentioned before, none in the census. I couldn't find any graded copies of these 1 in 10s. As far as sold copies go, There it is. This one, timing played out. So I was able to, this one showed up. So there it is. $10, $9.99 is me. So I bought that. So the only one that sold in the last 3 months was sold to me because, well, again, I liked it. And for this particular one, that was the only one that was there. I couldn't find any more. So I got the one. And that was it. Yeah. But moving on to our final book of this run, we have number 15. More of a group shot here. You see Roblox there in the background. We got Duke, we got Scarlet, etc. A bunch of Joes on the cover here for the final issue of this volume. This is issue 15. Again, it's a Freddy Williams. It's a 1 in 10. This is April 2014 at this point. Print run for the final issue is about 6,300 thereabouts. So we're looking at maybe 637 copies of this particular incentive, maybe. Just like the last ones, none in the census. So those final 12, 13, 14, and 15, I couldn't find any graded copies in the census. None. We had one sale. It was not me. This had to be the same as the other one because there's another auction that ended on the same day, May 30th, for only 99 cents. So I'm wondering if the same buyer got both of these. And if they did, kudos to you. I think those were good pickups. I would have been all over it too. It had I been looking at the time. So it was not me. I did not buy this one. The seller that I bought the other ones from did not have this one. So I have this one. I'll be on the hunt. I'll still be looking for this one because I did find one out there. And I am considering it because it is only $15. It is only $15 with best offer, but I didn't pull the trigger yet. Maybe I will before this airs. I don't know. But if you guys go and look and you're interested, there you go. But there is only the one. It's the only one that's out there. So maybe I should buy it before one of you guys do. I don't know. But that said, that's my first half. So that's one of the topics I wanted to cover, some G.I. Joes for you. I mean, I've had it on my list to do for a while now. Anyway, I had to pivot because initially the books I was going to talk about this week, I realized I already covered. Like I was going to do Angela, Queen of Hell, the first 3 1 in 25s. I'm like, wait a second, it feels familiar. And I was like, I did these already. It was like episode 52. Granted, 50 episodes ago, it was like a year ago, but still, don't want to double dip just yet. So with that, I said, you know what? Let me go to the Joes because, with the Transformers and all the connections and the excitement that's starting to build around G.I. Joe, I figured, you know what? Let's cover some of these 1 in 10. So there's just a little bit that I have for you. There's still plenty more. Again, there are tons of 1 in 10s, and they're not all that easy to find throughout the multiple runs of IDW series because this is G.I. Joe. This is not the G.I. Joe Real American Hero that picked up after the, the original Marvel run where the numbering kind of picked up. It's not even those. This is a separate volume of just G.I. Joe. So with that, let's go on to the second topic of books that I kind of wanted to get back to. I did a few of these a bit earlier, some of the earlier issues, but let's kind of pick up near the end. We're going to go back to Witchblade. Witchblade as well had a 150 issue run, I think, right? No, went longer than that. Went 185, I think, when it finally ended. But we do have some incentives that came across, during their run there at Top Cow. One in particular, issue 116. This is a Greg Horn cover, and this is a 1 in 25. Some of these issues have other variants as well. Some of them have like convention exclusives, etc. Not getting into those. I just decided to do the incentives because it was easier and cleaner for me to figure out how many there are, etc. So Greg Horn, March 2008. This is a 1 in 25 cover. It is cheesecake cover. I do enjoy those as well. Print run on this book, only about 21,000. So if you do that 1 in 25 math, it's about 840 thereabouts, potentially. Again, not concrete, best guess number. This book, however, does have some in the census. Unlike those Joes, this actually has 2 copies in the census. All of 2. So of the 6 books we've talked about already, we've had 3 graded copies spread across 2 books. Here we have a 9.2 and a 9.4, and that's it. Again, there's other variants that are there that are graded for this book, but in this particular version, this particular 1 in 25, that's all they could find. As far as sales go, I found one best offer on $65. I was going to dig into it to find out what the price was, but I figured it didn't really matter all that much. You get the idea. You can do your best guess. So under $65 for this 1 in 25 is what one sold for way back in April. So a couple of months ago. This one actually had options too. When I went looking for copies, I found 5. So I was able to squeeze all 5 here on the screen at once. So I don't have to give you the and more. There were 5 ranging all raw, ranging from 90 actually ranging from $65 all the way up to $300. Yeah, there's a 95, a 125, looks like about 65, $300 and $90, all raw covers. So price is kind of all over the place. But the cheapest one is kind of close to what the most recent sale was, and some of the other asking prices are a bit higher. Moving on from this issue, 116, you're like, what? Well, I think this was kind of like a new story arc. I think they were introducing this other, I can't remember her name. I wasn't a big avid Witchblade reader, so after Sarah Pichelli, I never remember the next girl with the blonde hair, what her name was, who took up the mantle. If you guys remember, feel free to put in the comments here in the live chat. But honestly, I don't remember, and I didn't do my research beforehand. I'm just going off the cuff here. I think that's what happened to that issue. But we do have a milestone 125 landmark issue. This cover might look familiar because it is very similar to like a white bordered version that is the regular C cover. But this particular full orange, I guess, spread, full art version is a Chris Picciolo, 1 in 25. So this is a 1 in 25 from March of 2009. And it's very similar to the C cover. But like I said, the art is takes up the full cover, whereas the regular editions all had like a white kind of like L-shaped border on them, or upside down L. This one, print run at the time was only about 17,000, so our incentive for the 1 in 25 might only be about 688 copies, so under 700 for this one as well. None of these have really high print runs, but there are only one copy. Again, I thought this was funny when I was doing this. I was either finding no copies or like 1 or 2 copies in the census. So here's another book that's got 1 in the census. This would be considered variant cover D in a lot of places because, again, there are other copies and other variants following this. But we had A, B, and C regular variants, and then this was the 1 in 25, which was considered the D cover. But only 1, as you can see here. It is a 9.8, finally. So we do got a 9.8 out of one of these books graded, but there's only the 1. As you might not be surprised, we don't have any sales over the last 3 months. And if you wanted to go and buy one, I was only able to find 1 copy. It's at auction. Starting bid at $30. It's going to end Thursday morning. So this is going to air Tuesday night. So a couple days left on this. And an opening bid is $30, or you can make an offer if you want to buy it outright. Again, that's up to you. If you really want to make a play for it, go ahead. That's what you're looking at. I like this cover. Don't love it, but again, I'm not a huge Witchblade fan. Again, I've admitted it, but I do like some of these covers. And I like this one, but I think I would want it under ratio. Like, I'd be more of a buyer in that $15 kind of range. Maybe taking a shot. But that said, I like the next one too. The next one is a John Tyler Christopher. You almost get a little bit of that negative space. I'm a big fan of the negative space covers. This is issue 130. I forget the name of this character with the green hair too, but this one is only a 1 in 15. So this is not a 1 in 25. It's only a 1 in 15 incentive from September of 2009. JTC doing one of the things he does best. I like the negative space covers. I've collected many of them, including that other Witchblade one that he did with the orange, with the Day of the Dead. I don't remember the name of the character, but almost like a La Muerta kind of like cover. Pretty awesome. I like this one too, though. But let's see what we're looking at here. We're looking at about 15,000 copies for the estimated print run. So that 1 in 15 would give us just over 1,000. So here's our first one that's over 1,000 copies today. And with that, this one actually has, I believe, multiple copies in the census. And by multiple, I mean 3. Hey, for the group that we have today, this is the most in the bunch, right? So we got 3 9/8 for this particular incentive. So again, not a lot of graded copies for these books I got for you today, but I think they're pretty cool. And if I had them, I would get them graded if they warranted it. I'm not gonna say just grade anything, but I probably would give it a shot if I got some contenders, which I hope to get with those ones I bought. We'll see. 1 copy sold recently, $80. So May 15th, you can see there a raw copy sold for $80 on this one. So it may be a 1 in 15, but it is not cheap. So you're still paying multiple times of ratio for this if you want it, including the 1 copy that's out there right now, which is $80. I think it's from the same seller. It might be from the same seller, same price and everything. There's 16 watchers. So again, it's not a secret. People are watching this. They're paying attention to it. They're just not jumping or acting right now because, well, again, I don't think there's any real driving force to make you go and start picking up Witchblade books in particular right now. But that doesn't matter. To me, I don't think comics need like movie news or TV show news for you to go and have interest in them, or even recent storylines that you need to have interest in. I mean, I like old stuff too. If there's stuff you like, as long as the price is right, I say go get it. But hey, only you know what the price is right for you, though. $80, a little bit too much for me. I like it. I don't know if I like it that much, though. I would probably pay over ratio, that being 1 in 15 personally, but I don't think I can go up to 80 unless I somehow like I came into some money and I won, I got lucky at the casino or something. Who knows? I came into a flush of cash and I can just say, you know what, I'm going to buy whatever I like, regardless of the price. But that unfortunately hasn't happened. So I'm going to have to keep bargain hunting. And with that, this was issue 130. I got another one for you, 150. J. Scott Campbell, The End of an Era, which it was. After this one, they did kind of shift things around and kind of restart again with 151, again with this Witchblade series, but they kept the numbering going. They did, like I said, run through 185, I think it was, or 180, somewhere in that range before they eventually restarted and we got another volume. But as I said, J. Scott Campbell, December 2011, 1 in 25. There are some other like online exclusives, convention type exclusives. I don't remember, like a Top Cow exclusive. There are other versions of this book, but the 1 in 25 is the incentive that I wanted to cover, at least for today. Print run at about 14,000, so that would give our incentive maybe 570 copies. Once again, not a lot, but considering it's J. Scott Campbell, yes, this is finally one that has multiple copies in the census. There are all of 25. So we got 11 9/8, 12 9/6s, and then a couple others rounding out that 25 in the census. So after all that, we finally got one that actually has some copies graded. But no copies have sold. So nobody's picked this one up recently. I like it. I kind of like the grayscale kind of thing. And you got the little red. I mean, it comes off a little dark because it's gray and not like white. So the gray with the red and the black, it does come off a little, like I said, a little dark, but I still kind of dig it. You got to kind of have a close up look at it, though, to really appreciate it. But without any sold, we do have 3 copies that I found available. But those 3 copies are not cheap. Raw $600, $699, 16 watchers. A 9/6, $750 with 10 watchers. And then there's another raw looking for $1,500. Yeah, out of my range. But I'll keep hunting, keep looking. I do have that Campbell 135, I think it is. There's another one he did in that Witchblade run that I did manage to get. I think it was a store or a convention, or I don't know, some other sort of exclusive. I think I covered it already on this show. But this 1 in 50, don't have this yet. And you can see why. It's pretty darn pricey. But with that, we'll end our Witchblade coverage for that. And I've got one more random book that I just kind of want to throw in here so we round it out and have a nice solid 10 books to cover. So that's what I've been shooting for lately, just doing 10. And to finish up our group here, I got a Dan Parent for you. With Dan Parent doing a lot of homages to other covers and even himself, he has done this recently. I know I've seen this one just recently redone as well. But here we have Sheena number 6. Now, this is an incentive for this Sheena series. Number 6, this is Dan Parent, again, February 2018. This is actually a 1 in 25. 1 in 25. I know some of these books, you're like, why they're not going to order 25 copies. Well, sometimes they did, and they might even been returnable. I don't know. Point being, there still weren't that many ordered. 56, almost 5,700 total as far as Comic-Con goes. So if it is truly a 1 in 25, there may only be just over 100 copies of this book. Now, I know you can say, oh, that's just an estimate. There's probably more. Hey, you're right. Maybe there are more. I don't know. But what I can tell you is I'm not seeing this book. So regardless of however many there may be, I'm just not seeing this book. In the census, this is also goes by variant cover G. Based, again, multiple covers. I think it's Dynamite. So you know how Dynamite is. But there's a 9/6 and there's a 9/4. So that's it. Back to the regularly scheduled programming for today. We only got 2 in the census for this particular book. And as I said, I'm not seeing it out there. So none have sold. Also, if I wanted to go and buy one, well, also out of luck because none are out there for this book. As I said, yeah, it could be more than that 100, but I'm not seeing them. To give you a bit of context, again, this is the 1 in 25. This is based off of one of the other regular variant covers. This is actually based off of the C cover that has a trade dress, which we have here. So you can see these are all 4 copies available for the trade dress version of this book. The 1 in 25 is a version of it. But look at the prices on the trade dress. So we have 4 total copies. 2 of them want $100. The other 2 want $250 and $300. So imagine what the price would be on the 1 in 25 of the same art. Just saying. If somebody had one, I'd be interested to see what they listed it at market. Well above what I could pay. So I have no illusions. I'm just saying. But if you go out there digging and you find one, you may have found yourself a nice little treat because there are not many out there. Doesn't look like there's many out there. Like I said, not seeing any selling, not seeing any up for available for sale. And the regular version or one of the regular variant versions are pretty darn pricey already. So with that said, that's all I got for you this week. Going by what I had, we have only 4 hard to finds because there were multiple copies of these. Granted, some of these only had like 2 copies, 2 or 3 copies, but whatever. These ones we'll call just hard to find for this week. And a couple of them are the ones that I did buy. I told you those 1 in 10s I bought. So again, they're not ghosty. There's other copies available. I just liked them. And so I bought them. That said, the other 6 for today, the other 3 G.I. Joes either had 1 or none. And then the Witchblades here, the 2 of the Witchblades had, I think, single copies available and none available on, like I said, that Sheena. So with that, all 6 of these, consider there's 1 or none, we'll throw the ghost label on them for this week. Again, this is a moment in time. Who knows what this might look like in a month? Maybe there's more copies of stuff available. This is just kind of for fun and just seeing what's out there. Just kind of fun books that, like I said, I'm looking for and I'm interested in that I feel like sharing, with you guys. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Those are our ghosts for today. 6. We got 6. That was a lot. I didn't plan that. Like I said, I come up with a list and then I just go in blind and I just do research. And as I'm doing the research, I'd give the numbers to you guys as I do it. So once again, thanks for stopping by and checking this out. I appreciate all the support. Hopefully you're enjoying all the content here on the channel. And like I said, make sure you come back tomorrow for the tax show. We'll be doing some fun stuff. We got some more garage sale gold for you. We'll probably talk a little of the Secret Invasion because that first episode drops tomorrow. We'll have new comic reviews. We'll have all the news. And we might even look ahead to Astronomicon this week. So if you're up in the Midwest and you're going, you like to go to like a nice Juggalo concert, we're going to preview like the guest list and have some fun looking ahead to that because I think Dub's going. I'm not sure if Marco's going, but yeah, should be fun. So that, and I think we're doing, I also got some cards to break. So yeah, I know we don't normally do cards here on the channel, but I do have a couple of little blaster boxes or whatever, these Marvel annual cards. So I'm going to open a couple of these tomorrow too on the tax show. So if you're curious, want to see what's in there, it'll only be a small segment. I only got 2 of them. So I'm going to open up some cards, see what I find and see what I get. And that all said, thanks again. I'll see you all later with some more content. All right, bye.